Well, we will now have the star of our show, Su Lin. She will continue with a full message which she wasn't able to deliver last night.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I gave a relatively short speech last night because I was the last speaker and I didn't have time to finish the speech that I prepared. So I was told to come today to finish up the rest of my speech, and so I hope you will bear with me as I read out what I prepared to you. Okay. To everyone here today and my fellow Singaporeans, when my father first considered running in the presidential elections, it is no secret that our family was not supportive. My mother in particular felt that my dad should relax and enjoy life after working so hard for the past 30 years. My father, however, did not think so. He felt that the time had come for him to answer the call of hundreds of people who had urged him to run for this office. After so many years of being deprived of a chance to vote for a president, he felt that Singaporeans should be given a chance to decide. As his family members, we knew that he was well qualified for this office and above all, had the strong desire and right motivations to serve Singapore in this capacity. It did not take us too long to change our minds, and I am proud to say that today our entire family is rallying behind him 100%. My father has always felt very strongly about public service, and that an elected president does not have to be armed with strong executive powers to make an impact. He firmly believes that a well-qualified and properly elected president will make his impact through the powers to persuade, to influence, to counsel, to convey feedback, and to articulate his position on specific issues. In short, he feels that the president can and should play a more active role in communicating the concerns of the people to the government and working together closely to better the lives of Singaporeans. He convinced us of his vision, and today my father is firmly standing in this election to be the voice of the people. At the rally last night, I shared 2 reasons why I feel my father is the best candidate among the 4 to carry out the role of the elected president. I spoke in my capacity as an ordinary citizen, not as his daughter. I shared that he is a man of courage and is not afraid to speak up or make decisions on issues that he firmly believes in, even though they may be unpopular. Over the past 20 years, he has had a steady track record of speaking up as an ordinary citizen on issues close to his heart. During the Lehman Brothers crisis, he single-handedly stood up against the establishment to help fend the rights of ordinary citizens who had lost their money. I witnessed with my own eyes how he had spent several tireless days and nights organizing petitions to the relevant authorities. I tell you, in that process, he stepped on many people's toes, many among them his own friends and even relatives. Some questioned his motives for getting involved, but he refused to bow down to pressure or criticism because he felt that that was the right thing to do. I had also stressed last night that he is the most independent and non-partisan candidate standing in this presidential election. I shared that he is the only candidate among the 4 who has never stood for any elections under any political party. Neither has he been involved in the formulation of any government policy. It is true that he was a PAP member, but he was active only at the grassroots level prior to 1984, and that was 27 years ago. Today, he maintains good friendships with people both from the ruling party and the opposition camps, as well as everywhere along the political spectrum. During the course of this campaign, we have been heartened to see so many Singaporeans from the PAP, NSP, SDP, WP, as well as non-partisan individuals, all setting aside their political differences to come and support him. Is that not good enough indication that he is the best man to unite Singaporeans of all political persuasions and to make them sit at the same table? If you're voting for Tan Kian Lian, you can be sure that he will be the president that is above politics. And he will be the president for all Singaporeans, not just a president for one political party. And if these two reasons are not good enough for you, I have three more to share with you today. First of all, he has a very strong sense of public service. Because of his humble background, my father has always had a heart for the common man. When he was running NTUC Income, he felt that it was his calling to look after the interests of those who had entrusted their life savings to the cooperative. As a CEO, he had no problems drawing a salary much lower than his counterparts in the same industry, as he valued the fact that he could contribute to society with his position more than monetary rewards. He often preferred to save money for the company by flying economy class on business trips. He also turned down quite a number of better paying jobs, preferring to stay with Income because he felt that it was a good place for him to contribute to the greater good of society through the cooperative. It was this sense of strong public service that led him to continue giving out free financial advice through his blog, even after he had retired. My father always believed that public service is a privilege and a duty, and that it is very wrong for the head of state and ministers to be paid so much when Singaporeans are struggling with a rising cost of living. That is the reason why he is the first to pledge to donate more than half his salary if he is elected. I am glad that at least one other presidential candidate has chosen to follow this example that he has set. Secondly, he has the ability to think out of the box. While most people spend time finding reasons why certain things cannot be done, my father always tries to find ways how it can be done. He's always coming up with different ideas and offering a different perspective to any potential problem. You may have noticed that he likes to smile a lot. Beneath that smile is really a strong can-do spirit and a belief that nothing is impossible. Consider the role of the president. While many people feel that the president has limited powers and cannot do or say much, he is the first candidate to challenge this and raise the current debate on what the president can or cannot do. There are many skeptics and naysayers who say that he is overpromising voters. But I tell you that while it may not be easy, my father will find a way to fulfill his promise of being your voice. Last but not least, Tan Kian Lian is the embodiment of the Singapore story. Someone noted at an earlier rally that 4 out of 6 former presidents did not have a university degree. That is true. We don't need another scholar or politician to head this country. Even though my father did not go to university, he was more than well qualified because his own life story tells the story of Singapore. Many of you would have heard that despite being a top student in his cohort, he had to quit school at the age of 16 to work and support his family after my grandfather lost his job. But my father did not give up. He did not blame his lot in life. He believed that through his sheer hard work, perseverance, and diligence, he could change his circumstances and improve the lives of his family. He worked hard and self-studied to become one of the first in Singapore to qualify as an actuary. And he went on then to head NTUC Income for 3 decades to look after over 1 million policyholders. His life is underlined by the belief that anything is possible if you set your mind to it, and that is something that I hope will inspire many Singaporeans as it has done for me. I also shared last night that I often feel that my father will not make a very good politician. Politicians often have to tell you what you want to hear in order to get your votes. For my father, what you see is what you get. No funny surprises. He is open, transparent, and has a strong sense of what is right and wrong. Above all, he does not pretend to be who he is not. So I'd like to tell my fellow Singaporeans again, if you want a politician for a president who is only going to tell you what you want to hear, or keep you guessing or wondering what they're really thinking, then he is not the one you should vote for. But if you're looking for a president who is transparent and willing to listen and stand up for you regardless of your political affiliation, race or religion, then my father is the one that you should consider voting for. Tan Kian Lian entered this contest, wanted to let the people decide. I hope that Singaporeans will set aside their political differences and consider casting their votes for someone who is truly independent of any political party, who has no political baggage nor emotional ties, whether it is to the ruling or the opposition party. Someone who is independent and will not face any conflict of interest in carrying out his duty of scrutinizing and safeguarding the spending of our reserves. Someone who is armed with the right financial knowledge, experience, expertise, and personal values to do so. And lastly, someone who is truly independent but for the people. Regardless of who becomes the next president, I am proud that my father has managed to open up the debate on what an elected president can or cannot do, and convince Singaporeans that they have a say in what they want the elected president to do for them. I sincerely hope that the next president will be answerable and accountable to the people that have put him in this office. Thank you.